Time now for top picks from Shane Obata. Number one is a pick that I think was mentioned during the course of this show. Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA on the NASDAQ.
Yes, Nvidia. I think this is the first time I made it a top pick, which was pretty amazing because I really love this company. So again, coming back to the idea of near-term challenges, long-term value, I'll start off by saying that Nvidia's gaming segment may have some troubles in the coming quarter and maybe potentially for a little while here. This is partially due to the fact that GPUs were used pretty widely for crypto mining. And as we've seen that part of the market kind of pare back, there's been some changes to how Ethereum is mined too. And so now there's some supply issues leading to lower pricing, maybe some inventory issues for the near term here. But we think that the gaming business, we like it for the long term, but investors really need to stay focused on the data center part of the business. It was discovered a long time ago that GPUs are ideal relative to CPUs for artificial intelligence applications. And so Nvidia continues to grow at a rapid clip in its data center business, which is actually now its biggest segment, even bigger than gaming. So we think that potential weakness in the gaming market gets overshadowed by strength in the data center market. This is one of the purest ways to play the artificial intelligence theme, and we think this is a great long-term story.
Okay, top pick number two, Motorola Solutions, ticker symbol MSI.
Yes, MSI, very interesting story that's really about two different segments. So the first one is the legacy segment, and that's really radio communications. And what do I mean by that? I mean handsets that we're using on construction sites, but also in mission critical applications, police, firefighters, et cetera. So there's a safety element to this story. That part of the business is something that we expect can kind of grow at around GDP growth. Nothing too special, but it's a steady long-term business. You'll see hardware upgrades every 6 to 8 years, and then there's software additions that come on. The company's been transitioning away from hardware and more towards software. We think that continues on, especially as it builds out its video solutions business. We think public safety is top of mind and should remain top of mind, especially in the States. As people look to protect themselves and fight crime even better, we think there's going to be more and more cameras on the streets. And when you have cameras, you need someone to manage the data so that you can use it for crime stopping and whatnot. Motorola Solutions does all of that. And we think that part of the business is really going to lift group growth and profitability going forward.
Okay, and let's finish with a pick in the luxury goods sector, Lvmh, the Louis Vuitton company, MC on the Paris exchange.
Louis Vuitton is what we would view as the best luxury conglomerate in the world. The company operates across 5 different segments: fashion and leather goods, watches and jewelry, wines and champagnes and whatnot, and then we have selective retailing and cosmetics. So they have leading brands, the best portfolio of brands across those different areas. Fashion and leather goods is really the golden goose that consists of Louis Vuitton and Christian Dior, among other brands. That's the most profitable part of the group. We think that it continues to kind of power through, even despite the China restrictions. We think that the market knows about that, and we're expecting good, strong growth from the US and Europe to help offset some of that weakness that we saw in the previous period. So this is just a resilient name that we think you can own no matter what the economic environment. Luxury does not operate by the normal rules, and we think that LVMH has great proven operational expertise, great management team. It's a good long-term story for investors.
We have about 60 seconds left. Luxury does not operate by the normal rules. In other words, customers keep on buying despite global economic strains, a global economic slowdown, correct?
Yes, that, and also the fact that generally speaking in basic economics, we have rising prices leading to lower demand, but that's not the case in luxury. Luxury prices can continue to go up, and there's really an element of showing off, I guess you want to call it, or prestige, right? And so people continue to want these products even as prices continue to go up. We think Louis Vuitton has a lot of pricing power. LV is actually one of the only brands that doesn't discount ever. There's no there's no discounting outlets, anything like that. That to us is true pricing power in this space.
Okay.